Here we're going to look at graphing a combination of transformations. So number one, the graph of the function f of x is shown below. So we have this kind of peaked out graph looking thing. And in part A, they want us to make a table of values for f of x and f of x minus 3. So let's say we have f of x, and let's make some values here. And then we're also going to make a table for f of x minus 3. Then they want us to graph the two on the same coordinate grid. Now, it is easier to make the graph and then make the tables based on the graph, but we're not going to learn the material as well. It'll be a little bit, there'll be a little bit less understanding of what's actually going on. So let's take a look at f of x. Let me just slide this over. So we have f of x, and then we have our x and y points. So I'm going to take those from the graph. All right. So here, looks like I have -2, 0. Here we have 0, 2. 1, 2, 3, 3, -2. And then let's just go right to 5. Or actually 6. Let's go to 6. And we have 6, 5. Okay, so we'll use those 4 points. And now we want to graph f of x minus 3. Now, what's happening here, this minus 3, what's that telling us? All right, it's inside the parentheses, so that's our h value. So that tells us there's a horizontal shift, either going left or right. And this minus 3 tells me that my graph is shifting right 3 units. All right, so this whole graph is going to go off to the right. Now, what do I do with my values? All right, if I have x and my y values, how do I know which values to use? Again, we're trying to make the chart before we do the graph. It'd be very easy just to draw the graph, take those points and move them over. But we want to think about what's actually happening. So here, since it's -3 and the points are being shifted to the right by 3 units, if I'm moving left or right, those are affecting my x values. So in this problem, my x values are all going to be shifted right 3 units. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my -2, 0, 3, and 6, and I'm going to add 3 to each x value. All right, again, because we're going to the right. So -2 plus 3 would be 1, 0 plus 3 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 6 plus 3 would be 9. So now I need to say, all right, what happens to my y values? Well, if I'm only shifting left and right, my y values won't change. All right, so they're all going to stay the same. The only way the y values would shift is if there was a vertical transformation, all right, when that went up or down. So now I'm going to take my points and I'm going to plot them. So I get 1, 0, 3, 2, 6, -2, and 9, 5. Now if I connect each of these points, what I'm going to see is that my graph did shift to the right 3 places. All right. Each of these pieces were moved over. So again, yes, I could have taken the graph first and then filled out the chart pretty easily. But what we need to understand, what we want to learn from this, is what do these changes do? What do these shifts do? The up, right, left, and down. Are they changing our x values or are they changing our y values? In this specific problem, since we have a horizontal shift right, that is changing my x values. And since they're moving to the right, I want to add 3 to each of those x values. So any examples you get like this, always ask yourself, all right, what's changing, x or y, and is it going, in which direction is it going? Should I be adding, subtracting to my values? Once you figure that out, then these become pretty easy.